You are listening to the Ebony Covering Black America Podcast Network, presented by Walmart.
This is Holly Cotton. Thanks for listening to Beyond the Fit. The purpose of this show is to cover a variety of health and wellness topics to make sure that you become the strongest version of yourself inside and out. We've covered several different topics over the last few episodes. We've gone from mental health to survivorship to overcoming things to New Year's resolutions. Basically, everything that comes in between actually looking fit and being mentally fit. On this episode, what I want to do is bring it back to health and wellness and actually living that fit lifestyle. I know a lot of us have all of these ideas for our New Year's resolutions. Everyone is like, yes, 2022 is going to be my year. I'm going to get it in this year. I'm going to get in shape. Let me start getting my life together. And now here we are at the end of January. And where are you for your fitness goals? Where have you fallen off? Do you need to regroup? Do you need to start over? Are you doing what you're supposed to do, but you just need a little bit of help? Whatever the question is, whatever the issue is, this is the show for you because we'll cover a variety of common issues and questions that people have whenever they start trying to get fit or whenever they've hit a plateau or if they're just trying to start over or if they want to improve. This is the show for you, no matter what your angle is. Hopefully, all of these topics that we cover will address the issues that you're having. This show is going to be called Barriers to Fitness and Overcoming Common Issues that we face when we're trying to get in shape. The number one barrier that I hear as a fitness professional is, I just don't have time. I want to get in shape. I want to change my life. I want to do what I need to do, but I don't have time. How do you deal with not having time? How do you deal with having a stressful life? How do you deal with being overwhelmed with work and kids and things like that? People ask me all the time. They think I don't have a job because I'm always working out. And I'm like, stop. I actually have about 20 jobs. And one of those jobs is always my health and my fitness. And no matter what, I make me a priority throughout the day. Everything else can wait. Anything else that's going on in life comes secondary to my overall health and wellness. And that's mental health and physical health. So I make sure that every day I know I am going to work out every single day. I'm going to do something fitness related every single day because it's important to me and I've made it a priority. So first, whenever you're saying I don't have enough time to exercise, you need to look at why is that okay? Do you have time to deal with other people? Do you have time for your job? Do you have time to go and watch Netflix for 2 hours a night? Do you have time to be on social media for an hour? Funny how you have time for things that aren't a priority, but when you make yourself a priority and you make fitness a priority, it's amazing how that barrier just gets kicked out of the way. Some of the suggestions that I give people when they tell me that they don't have time is, what are you doing for your lunchtime? Try and squeeze in a walk throughout the day. You'd be surprised, 30 minutes of walking. I'm not talking about walking where you're looking at the stores and you're smelling the flowers. I'm talking about go 30 minutes, elevate your heart rate, get it out of that resting heart rate and get working where you have a little bit of sweat on your forehead, where you have to fan yourself. Those are the walks that we're talking about. Aim for 30 minutes a day of just walking. You want to walk during your break. You want to walk whenever you're going somewhere. Park far, far, far at the end of the parking lot and heave all of your groceries down to your car. Push a heavy buggy. There's tons of things that you can do to incorporate walking as an exercise throughout the day. Another thing is when you say you don't have time, I tell you, get up earlier. What time are you waking up in the morning? If you're waking up right before it's time to go to work, if you're waking up 30 minutes before it's time to go to work, one, you're going to be flustered because now you're in rush mode. You have so much to do. You always feel overwhelmed. You always feel like you don't have time. How about this? Get up an hour earlier. Whenever I know that it's the day that I'm going to do fasted cardio, I always get up an hour earlier so I have time to brush my teeth and wake up. And then I go do 30 minutes of cardio. I go ride my bike. Make sure that I'm able to do that before my day starts, before I'm thinking about what I'm going to eat for breakfast, before my stomach starts growling, before my body realizes that it's not even up yet and I start yawning and things like that. I make sure that I get up earlier. So again, get up earlier, try and fit in a walk, and also another thing is try and look at what you're doing on the weekends. Look at how you're spending your evenings. If you look at it and realize these are the idle times, these are times that actually I'm not really doing anything and I could be exercising, I could be doing something else. This is when you can implement exercise into your routine, and you can actually multitask by adding exercise in addition to what you're doing, or you can stop using the idle time as wasteful time and you can be using it as a productive time. A lot of times what I also do if I'm doing cardio at the gym, I'll get on the Stairmaster or the treadmill or the elliptical machine and I'll multitask. So if I know that I have a conference call at 1 o'clock p.m., guess what I'm going to be doing at 1 o'clock p.m.? That's going to be my cardio time. So I make sure to pace myself. So when I have to just be on the phone for an hour for a conference call, I'm actually doing something else. I'm working out at the same time. So try and do that. Try and either multitask or find that idle time that you can use usefully for something else. Another barrier that I hear a lot is I think that exercise is boring. A lot of people just aren't excited to go to the gym. I don't know why, because I'm a gym head, but for those that aren't, it's very hard. One, they think it's boring because they don't know what to do at the gym. So if you're going to the gym and you're doing the same 5 things, you're picking the same 5 machines, you're doing the same thing over and over again every time you go to the gym, I got bad news for you. Guess what? It's going to be boring. If you go to the gym and you get on the treadmill for an hour, you walk at 2.0, which is very slow for anyone who's never walked on a treadmill. So you walk for 2.0 for an hour and then you go home, or you use the same 5 machines because you don't know how to use the other machines and you don't really know who to ask how those machines work. You're going to be bored. You have to find things that excite you to be active. So when I go to the gym, I do things a little bit differently than other people. One, if you follow any of my social media, HollyCotton_ at Instagram and TikTok, I try and do challenging workouts and I do things that challenge me because I too get bored. I too am like, oh, gosh, what are we doing today? And I have to give myself a pep talk about what is our goal for today? What is it that we're going to work on today? How are we going to mix it up today? People think because I work out often and fitness is part of my lifestyle that I love going to the gym. And I'll be honest, I don't. I know it seems like kind of like a oxymoron because it's like you're a fitness professional and you don't like going to the gym. Yeah, right. I don't. It's a struggle for me as well. And I have been completely transparent in like all of my episodes where I've talked about fitness before. And I too have to get up and motivate myself every single day. My motivation is that I want to look a certain way. I want to be strong. I have a goal. And if you think that exercise is boring, that's the first reason right there why you think it's boring is because you don't have a definitive goal. You have to be working for something. Find something that you love. That's why people that play basketball or baseball or football or whatever the sport is, they have a passion for that sport. They love doing that sport. So when they go out there and they're practicing and they're giving it 100% for 4 hours a day, it's because they love doing it. If you're thinking it's boring, find something that you love. Vary the routine. Don't do the same thing every day. Mix it up. Maybe one day walk, sometimes swim, do your cycling class, do different exercises on different body parts. When I go to the gym, I have set days that I do certain body parts. What I do is today I'll go to the gym and I'll work the anterior chain muscle. That means the muscles on the front of your body. I'll work my quads, or I'll do shoulders and biceps. I'll do whatever it is. And then on other days, then I do back. So I'll do back and triceps. I'll do hamstrings and glutes. So rotate the body parts that you're doing. And every single day when I go to the gym, I'm working on specific muscle groups. And that helps me stay motivated. And that helps me not think that it's boring, because I know today I'm working on something different. I know tomorrow I'll work on something else that's different. I'm not doing the same thing. But if I had to go to the gym and just walk for 30 minutes every day on the treadmill, I'll be honest, I am not giving it 100%. I'm going to be bored to death, and I'm probably going to not want to go. But if you're looking forward to it, if you're like, oh, okay, this is going to be great. I'm going to work such and such today. I'll work such and such tomorrow. It gives you something to look forward to, and that will help you not think it's boring. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back. Welcome back to Beyond the Fit. And then I always tell people this: if you join a gym and they have classes, take the classes. That is a great way for people who don't like working out by themselves, who are lacking motivation to work out, or are looking for like a community of people to work out with, things like that. Some people love that socialization. Some people love having other people to work out with. So you have classes at your gym, go join the classes. If you like dancing, they have the Zumba and other kind of classes. If you like lifting weights, they even have like body sculpt classes. Some of them have yoga. Whatever it is that your gym has, take those classes. That is a great way to jumpstart your fitness. That is a great way for you to get involved. And not only that, but you can also network and meet people, and you can have a gym bestie, or you can have someone else that will motivate you, because exchange numbers. And now, guess what? I'm texting you, hey, are you going to such and such class tonight? And then you're like, oh, I don't want to. And then I'm like, oh my gosh, girl, we got to get it together. It's summertime. We got to get our summertime bodies together. And then now you're like, all right, fine. Well, I'll meet you at 7 o'clock for class. And that is a great way to keep each other motivated and keep yourself motivated, and to stop you from being bored, because now you have something to look forward to. Another barrier that I hear very, very often, and this one just drives me crazy, but I know that is a huge thing that a lot of people deal with, and it's being self-conscious. A lot of people are very self-conscious about the way that they look. When going to the gym or going into a fitness world, a lot of people are feeling like people are going to judge them. People are going to talk about them not using the machines correctly, or they're going to do something stupid, or everyone here is in a crop top and leggings, and I have to have on an extra large t-shirt, and I feel self-conscious about my body. That's one of the big things, and it drives me crazy, because guess what? We all started from somewhere. Some people came from being skinny to being muscular. Some people came from being obese to being fit. It doesn't matter. The fact that you are trying to take ownership of your health status is enough for you to go in there and walk in there with your head held high and be like, I'm running this today. I'm about to be a savage today. I'm about to be a beast today. I'm about to whoop up some stuff today. Walk in there knowing that you are making yourself a priority, and there is no reason to be self-conscious. There are tons and tons of videos and workouts. If you look up how to properly use this machine, how to do certain things. And I recommend that for people too that are self-conscious. Like, go in, do some research whenever you're sitting at home, look up how to use certain machines properly. I see people all the time, and it's not that they look crazy or they look like they don't know what they're doing when they're using a machine. My fear and concern when I see people doing something incorrectly is hurting themselves, because a lot of people get in there and they want to lift heavy weight because they see other people lifting weight. They see this is the gym. I'm supposed to be performing at a certain level when I go in there, so I need to lift this particular weight in order to feel like I have achieved something. And that is the wrong way to be, because you can hurt yourself. So if you're questioning how to use a machine, look it up so you can practice proper form and you can be educated on that as well. So never feel self-conscious about going in there. Everyone's been an amateur before. I was an amateur before. I still look at certain exercises and I'm like, maybe I could tweak my form a little bit, or maybe I can do this a little bit different, or let me try this exercise. So it's just an ongoing learning process in order to be fit and strong. One of the recommendations that I do give people, if they are gung-ho about feeling self-conscious and they're feeling really down about themselves, is I tell them avoid the crowd. If you know that everyone is working out at 9 a.m. and the gym is packed, and you're still feeling a little self-conscious, don't go at 9 a.m. Maybe go a little bit later, or go a little bit earlier, or go in the afternoon. There's different times of the gym that have peak hours, and then there's somewhere there's not as many people. If you go first thing in the morning, it's probably really, really busy because everyone that's in there is trying to work out before they go to work. And then you have a block that comes in where it's like the stay-at-home moms, and they have their own way of doing things as well. And sometimes it can be cliquey with them as well. Until you get comfortable, I recommend avoiding the crowds. Or you can start off by working out at home and then going to the gym. Try some workout programs at home. There are tons of workout programs for home. If you go on any of those, I don't want to say any of the names, but there's different websites and they have like apps and they're on demand. And I know that I used a lot of those during lockdown whenever all the gyms were closed. I was using some on-demand programs as well to get cardio in when I was home in my garage. You can start using that. You can get some weights for at home. Get comfortable with the form, and then you can also progress from that to the gym if you are really feeling self-conscious. What I recommend all the time is screw that. You're giving it your all. You got up. You're going in there. Hold your head up high and praise yourself, because you are doing something for your health. You are making yourself a priority, and there's nothing to be ashamed of. So make sure when you walk in there, you're focusing on the future. You're saying that, you know what, today I may not be where I want to be, but I'll get there. I'm going to keep coming every day, and I'm going to be stronger than I was yesterday. That's the whole motto of Strong Squad. What is the obstacle that you have today that you're going to overcome? And guess what? When you overcome that obstacle, you come out even stronger on the other side. You're going to come out fitter on the other side. Your self-confidence will start to erupt. You'll be like, oh my gosh, look how these pants were fitting me so tight, and now look at them, they're like loose. And you're taking more selfies and you're feeling more comfortable, or you're realizing that you had to buy an extra large and now you're in a large. Or maybe you're trying to gain muscle, because I talk about all the people as well. Some people are just really slim and petite and they want to put on muscle mass. So maybe you're starting to see that you went from having no curves, and now you're looking at your hamstrings kind of flexing in that picture that you took, and you're like, okay, I'm starting to see these muscle gains and things like that. Regardless of what it is, always stay focused on investing in yourself and that future. And please do not feel self-conscious about going into the gym or embarking in any type of fitness routine. Another barrier that people bring up is, I'm too tired to exercise after work. And I can tell you, as a trainer, this was one of the big things, because people would come after work and they would always say, I don't have any energy. I'm too tired. I had a long day today. But what happens is, it's a cycle. It's your metabolism that's affected. Your energy level is also affected because you are not working out. So it's actually a cycle of bad stuff, and it'll just keep going around and around and around in a circle. I'm too tired to exercise, but without exercise, I don't have the energy and the metabolism to want to exercise. So guess what? Now again, the next day, I don't want to exercise. It's so important to be physically active. It's so important for you to make yourself a priority and make your health and fitness a priority, because not only does fitness just make you stronger, but it can help everything in your body. It can help you with your muscle mass. It can help you with your bone loss. It can help you with your sleep. It can help you with your energy. It can help you with your libido. Who doesn't want a great sex life? We already talked about sex health. And what did we talk about? Exercise, exercise, exercise. Being fit is not just about looking fit. It has all of these other great things and benefits that come from it. We're going to take a quick break and we'll be right back. Welcome back to Beyond the Fit. If you're finding yourself as one of these people who are too tired to work after exercise, what do you think the number one recommendation is that I give people? Right, go in the morning. We already talked about that a minute ago, and I was saying, try and get up earlier in the morning so that you can do something. Jumpstart your day, even if it's 30 minutes on the Stairmaster in the morning while you're watching the news, while your kids are in the shower getting up for school, whatever it is. If you have older kids, while you're yelling, "Hey, are you up for school? Did you get dressed? Did you get your breakfast?" Instead of being in the bed yelling that, you could be on your Stairmaster, or you could be on your elliptical, or you could be riding your bike. Or a lot of times, talking about mental health, when you get up in the morning, you start having those manifestations. You start having that reflective time. We talked about that before in our mental health episode, and I was saying how I like to get up and I like to reflect on my day. What do I need to do today? How am I going to win today? What are those positive thoughts? What is the reinforcement? Some people read Bible verses. Some people read self-help. Some people listen to self-help. All of those things can be multitasked. So if you're feeling like you're too tired at the end of the day, rewind, bring it in the morning. No excuses. And again, if you're too tired after work, try and get the exercise in at lunchtime. I know when I go to the gym at lunchtime hours, the gym can really be a high traffic time at lunch because a lot of people are coming on their lunch break. If you get an hour break, go in the gym for 30 minutes. Go do something for 30 minutes. Walk around the parking lot. Go whatever. More and more buildings actually have gyms on the premises. You can have a workout room at your job. If you have one, go work on it. Go do something else. Make your lunchtime actually count. And another thing is, if you're too tired to exercise after work, is if you're trying to go to the gym after you work, always be prepared. Make sure you have the right shoes. Make sure you have a change of clothes. Make sure you have the right socks. Make sure you're ready to go, because that is one of the biggest deterrents when you're saying that I'm going to go work out after work, and then you realize you don't have everything you need in your gym bag. And then you're like, oh, well, so much for today. I tried, but ain't no way I can go now because I don't even have the right shoes. Or I see a lot of times in the afternoon when people are working out after work and they have on dress socks because they forget to pack their athletic socks. So what do? They have their work socks on at the gym as well. It's funny to see, but I do appreciate that. And I'm like, you know what? You got here, boo. That's all that counts. Doesn't matter if you color coordinated and you got your church socks on. You're here, and a lot of people didn't come today. Make sure if you're feeling like I'm too tired to exercise after work, to be prepared. Because if you're already mentally drained from the day, the last thing you feel like doing is figuring out what to do to work out. The last thing you don't want to deal with is trying to plan for a workout. Have your gym bag. Already know you're stopping on the way home. Already know that you're about to push, and now you're at the gym. So be prepared. Another barrier that people bring up is, I'm not athletic. I hear this a lot from people who want to train with me or want to work out, or I'll see people, if I post a workout video, they'll send me a message and say, oh my gosh, I wish I had your athleticism. I wish I was strong like you. I wish I could. And I'm like, first of all, stop right there, because the person that you see working out right now is not who I've always been. I have trained to work out at the level that I'm at. Not everyone starts off as an athlete. You don't have to be at an athletic level in order to be active. You can differentiate the two. You can say, you know what? I don't really want to be an athlete, but I want to be active for my health. I want to be active for my fitness level. So make sure you're differentiating what your goals are. Don't think that you have to go to the gym and you have to go in there and you have to gain muscle mass and you have to do this. You can go to the gym just so that you can be healthy. You can be working out and exercising so that you can be fit, so that your cardiovascular health is good, so that your metabolism stays where it needs to be, so your cortisol level is not through the roof. All of these things come from just being active. If you don't want to be an athlete, or you say that you don't feel comfortable, or you have injuries, there's tons of reasons why you don't feel like you are athletic. Keep it simple. Try something basic to start. And as you build up that endurance, as you start building up that strength, then you'll see that you'll start getting stronger. You may have only walked for 5 minutes. Now today, you're walking for 15 minutes before you get winded. Remember, I always said for our New Year's show, don't focus on what you can't do, focus on the cans. And whenever you're saying, I'm not athletic, I can't do that, you already have failed. You're going to say, I'm not in the athletic state that I want to be, but I can go walk for 10 minutes on my lunch break. I can be active. I can dedicate 30 minutes 5 days a week in order for me to be the healthiest and fittest version of myself. If you feel like you're not athletic, another recommendation, find a partner. Find someone that encourages you to work out, and then you encourage them to work out, and you guys can work out together. That's a big, big thing. You don't have to be an athlete to be active. Get an active partner. And not only that, but you can have fun while you're working out. You can have fun while you're trying to get fit. And you have an accountability partner that's telling you on the days when you don't feel like it, they're telling you, come on, it's our day to go work out. We have to do this. Another thing, if you feel like you're not athletic, is remember, it's not a competition. You're not joining a gym to compete. You're not getting fit to compete. You don't have to be in a bodybuilding show in order to be healthy and active. You're not competing against anyone but the version of yourself from yesterday. How am I making myself today better than I was yesterday? That's what you have to do. You have to focus on yourself. It's not a competition. Everyone has their own goals. Everyone has their own fitness routine. Everyone wants to do what they want to do, how they want to look. Some people want to have big legs. Some people want to have a big upper body, whatever it is. Your competition is yourself. So when you go into that mindset, like, I'm not athletic, or I feel stressed out, or I feel overwhelmed, or I feel self-conscious, you should never, because the only person that you need to look at and evaluate is yourself. Another common barrier is weight cycling. That's when someone says, I've tried to exercise in the past and I failed. I've tried to lose weight in the past and I failed. All my weight has come back. I don't feel comfortable working out anymore because I know I'm going to fail. Or I don't even care about losing weight because every time I lose weight, I wind up gaining it back. The key to that is don't give up. Stop giving up. That's the key thing. When you're looking at a failure and you're scared because you're scared to fail, you've already failed. You have to look at that failure as a learning lesson. Look at why you failed. Look at what went wrong and learn from your mistakes. You may not be able to see visible changes whenever you're being active, like you may not be able to see, oh, guess what? My A1C level is low. You're not going to be able to see that. That's your marker for your diabetes test. You may not be able to see all of these things that are going on from the improvement in your body from being active. You may not see that your blood pressure is lower. You're dropping pounds that is actually placing pressure on your back or your knees. Bad news. You don't get to see all of that. Now, after 5 or 6 weeks of working out, you do see those things, but that's one of the reasons why people feel like they failed, because they aren't seeing those visible changes. So first, don't give up. Don't stop. Don't think because you don't see changes that nothing is improving. Now look at what you did wrong. Did you meal prep? Did you have an idea for what you were going to eat and not going to eat? Did you clean out your kitchen and make sure that you got rid of the high sugar foods and all of the carb foods? Did you try a fad diet and the diet wasn't for you? Like, there's tons and tons and tons of things that you can do incorrectly that maybe you aren't realizing that's a problem. So before you say, I tried to get fit, I tried to exercise and it didn't work, look at what went wrong and what are we going to do now to not repeat the same mistakes. Make sure that you start off by pacing yourself. If you failed before, look at how you had your goals set up. Were they realistic? I talk about that in my book, Day One, all the time. That is the third letter in the SMART goal. Realistic. Was your goal realistic? Don't say, I'm going to work out for 2 hours every day, Monday through Saturday, if you already know that you can barely commit to going to the gym 1 day a week. Or you can't say, that's it, I'm eating chicken breast and white rice and asparagus every day this week, when you don't even have chicken in your refrigerator at home to cook. Like, how are you going to do meal prep? What is the realistic goal for you? Don't promise yourself stuff that you know you aren't going to be able to stick with. Find manageable goals for yourself. What can you achieve? I can commit to working out 20 minutes a day, 3 days a week for 4 weeks. And Monday, Wednesday, and Friday is the only day I can give. And guess what? Every week, check that off your list. Did you work out in your 3 days? Look at your meals. That's the big thing. Going to the gym is easy. Going to work out is easy. But what you're eating for the other 23 hours a day, that's the key to being fit. You cannot overeat. You cannot snack. You cannot give yourself treat. No, stay on track, set your realistic goals, and pace yourself. Make sure you start small and you build up. Start with 20 minutes. Now you're going up to 30 minutes. Now you're going up to 40 minutes. Don't overwhelm yourself so then you feel discouraged and you give up. And then also remember why you're exercising. That's the key thing. I say that all the time. Don't do anything without purpose and you will continue to win. If you're just doing something because you see someone else doing it, if you're doing something because it's a fad, if you're doing it because it looks cool and you saw it on social media, remember why you are choosing to be active. And anytime you fall off the track, anytime you feel like you're failing, anytime you feel unmotivated, remember that. Put a post-it, put a picture up. If you have a picture from way back when you looked a certain way, if you have a picture of a dress, if you have a picture of an outfit, if you have a vacation spot, if you have a picture of your lab results and you're saying that you're going to have your glucose level to be a certain level, or you're going to have a lipid profile and it's going to go down because you want to make sure that you don't have high cholesterol this time when you go to the doctor. It can be any kind of goal. It can be any kind of motivator that you want. But whatever it is, remember your purpose and remember that anytime you get discouraged. And the last thing that I hear a lot from people, especially obese people that have a family of obesity, is my family doesn't support my efforts. And if you ever watch TV shows like 600 Pound Life or any of those overweight shows where they're dealing with people that are morbidly obese, the doctor always talks about who's your enabler, and who's going to be your support person, because it can be very, very hard to change your lifestyle when everyone around you ain't feeling it and no one wants to get in shape but you. And it can be an isolating event. And a lot of times people get discouraged from that because they feel like no one around them is supporting them. You can start off eating well and you can start off doing this and having all of these goals and everything, and then no one wants to eat chicken breasts. You're the only one eating chicken breasts and everyone else is eating their fried chicken Tuesday special box, and you're the only one that's eating baked chicken. So it can be very, very depressing and it can be overwhelming. And a lot of times it can be easily to backslide and fall off track when you aren't getting that support. Some of the key things to get your family involved is get moving with your kids, get moving with your family. Like pack a picnic lunch, go to the park and play a sport. Like, hey, you guys, let's go play flag football, or let's go play kickball, or let's go do something where we're running around. Let's go do something. So involve them in a family activity as well. Pack healthy stuff for the picnic and go do something active. Things like that. Go to the pool and race your kids or race your family and do laps. Things like that to get your heart rate up. You can do other activities, like instead of going to the gym because you're like, hey, anyone will go to the gym? And everyone's like, no, not me. I don't want to go do that. No thanks. No thanks. So instead of proposing the gym, maybe try to find something else that's fun. Like there's roller skating is really, really good cardio. Rock climbing is good cardio. If you're going away on the weekend, rent one of those bikes where you're riding the bike through town. Things like that you can actually implement your family into an exercise regimen to get everyone active. And you never know, maybe that'll jumpstart someone else into getting more active, into getting fitter and things like that. Push them to do other stuff. Push people, park at the end. My kids already know that when I go to the store, we park all the way at the end. I don't like fighting people for parking spots. That's ridiculous to wait 5 minutes for someone to back up out of a spot when I can just park at the end and I'll already be in the store by the time they get there. But at the same time, you're also exercising and you're making everyone that's in the car with you exercise because you guys are all having to walk up to that point of entry. So try and implement those types of things as well. And again, you never know. You could jumpstart your family members and your friends into getting fit as well. I know that it was a lot of information today, and I just wanted to touch on some of these barriers to fitness because I understand that it's very, very common to feel overwhelmed and to feel it's not working out, or you've hit a roadblock and you don't know how to get over that roadblock. Hopefully we covered enough topics today for some of the common barriers that people have when they are dealing with fitness and getting in shape and getting active overall, health and wellness, all of that great stuff. Life check. You guys know I always end my show with a life check. Basically, a life check is what I talk about in my book, Day One, and that's a way to reiterate all the key points that we had for today and kind of sum up everything. Make sure that you have the information that you need to go out and use this episode to be the strongest version of yourself inside and out. So our life check today is basically make sure you're a priority. That's the number one thing. Realize that you deserve to win, not just in fitness, not just in healthy, not just in wearing an outfit, but you deserve to win at whatever it is that you are striving for in your life. You are a priority. We put so much emphasis and so much energy on other people's goals and helping other people win. And guess what? This year is going to be your year to win. This is your year to choose yourself as a priority. So that's the number one thing. Always choose yourself as a priority. Always remember your purpose in anything that you're doing. If you remember your purpose, if you remember why this was important to you, if you remember, hey, this is why I'm doing it and I'm not giving up. No one's going to deter me from that this year. Guess what? You're going to achieve whatever it is that you want to achieve. It's that simple. There's no stopping you. There's no stopping this goal. There's nothing that can stop you from winning except for you. So this is true in fitness. Number one thing, because guess what? No one can force you to eat something. Now, of course, if you're locked up somewhere in a dungeon or whatever, yeah, of course. They're going to regulate your meals. They'll probably starve you, not make you eat. But I digress to say that only you can choose unhealthy habits. Only you can make up excuses. Only you can hinder these goals and these achievements and these great things that you can do this year if you really, really focus and you give it your all. So always remember your purpose. Always remember the only person standing in your way is you. And always remember that no matter what in this show, we're going to come out stronger on the other side as we continue to go beyond the fit.